Hey, Ronnie here, founder of PLR.me, and I want to show you how you can download an item from the PLR.me content library and how you can then swap out and create your own covers for reports and books or slide decks using a few very simple and free to use tools. So let's get started. Right now I'm here in the parenting and family category, and I see here there's a really cool new report called the Parenting Principles. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that, and I can see more information about that here. I can also see it's an extensive report, 80 pages, looks exactly like something that my audience would be interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and click on download. Now what's going to happen is it's going to download all of the associated files, including the source files, the PDF version, and so on. Okay, so I've gone ahead and opened up the file, and you can see that you get different source files, including the editable Apple Pages file, which is the designed file if you're on a Mac, also the PDF version, and so on. So if you're on a Mac, you can go ahead and open up the Apple Pages file. You can edit the cover because the cover is designed there in Apple Pages. But for this demo, for this tutorial, I'm going to open up the PDF. Now, I'm going to open this up, and you can see here's the PDF cover, and then we have the second page, a little copyright page, a table of contents, and so on. Beautifully designed, ready to go for you, and you can take a look. It's a really extensive report. Now, if I would like, I can go ahead and add my branding onto the front cover without editing, without changing the cover design. I'm going to show you how you can do that now. Okay, so here I am where all of our members exclusive tools are, and these are only available for members of PLR.me. And you can see we have a tool called the PDF Brander. I'm going to go in there, and what I'm going to do is I want to brand that front cover. I want to put my name on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go choose the position, and I'll choose, let's say, center top. And I'm going to change the font size to be quite a bit bigger. Now I'm just going to play with it because honestly I don't actually know what font size I want to use yet. And then I'm just going to type in my name here, and I'm actually not going to make a URL, not going to put a URL on my name because it's just my name. And I'm going to change the pages to just be the first page because I only want to have my name on the first page. I don't want my name on every single page. So what I'm going to do next is take this PDF file, drag it where it says select files, and now my PDF is branded. Now let's take a look. I have no idea what it's going to look like now, but let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Here's my name. A little bit tough to read because of the person's hair here. Maybe I could increase the font size a little bit or decrease a little bit. Here, let's also try to change the color. So let's go with, let's actually go with a kind of a similar color to that. So I'm going to choose and just play with the colors here. I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to make it a darker font. Now I'm going to go again, drag that PDF. I have the new version now, so it should be a little bit different here with a little bit different color and a much bolder font. And there we go. So now I have my front cover ready. It has my name on it. It looks fantastic. I can absolutely run with this and share this, sell it, brand it, do whatever you'd like with it. We already branded it here using the PDF Brander. Really super simple, easy tool. And that's just putting the branding on the first page. I can then go ahead and say, you know what, I want at the bottom to have my website, or I want to have my a call to action. Hey, book a coaching session with me here. And you can do all those sorts of things with the PDF Brander. But for now, that's the first version. This is the second version, and I think we're good to go. But what if you want to change the cover entirely? Something completely different. Maybe you want to match your own style, branding, or you just want to change the title of the cover. I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay, so here I'm in a tool called Canva. It's a free web-based tool where you can create banners and graphics and ads and book covers. So what I'm going to do is go down here to where it says book cover. I'm going to choose that. Now, when I go into here, it's going to be a little bit of a different page size than the book. So I'm going to show you here. If I open up this PDF, I can see that it's pretty tall, and I know just because the way the book cover is, it's an 8.5 by 5.5. So it's 8.5 inches tall by 5.5 inches wide. All of our books are in that format. Unless it's a worksheet, then it's just a 8.5 by 11, a regular sheet of paper. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is actually choose a template, one of these free templates here. And I'm going to, I don't know, here, let me choose this one here. This one kind of looks neat. And what it's going to do is going to load up this template on here. But I'm going to also, like I said, change the dimensions. So I go to File, go to Change Dimensions, use Custom Dimensions, and then I'm going to choose inches. So here I'm going to type in 5.5, and then here I'm going to type in 8.5 because that is the size of the books. Okay, so we're getting there. Now, obviously we need to start changing up some of the text. I want to include my name, I want to include the title of the book, the subtitle, and in this case, what we're going to do, so I'm going to open this up here, and what I want to do is I'm going to change the title of the book. Instead of Parenting Principles, I'll call it the Parenting Toolbox. So I'm going to click on the text here, and I'm going to type in the Parenting Toolbox. Okay, so there we go. Now the background doesn't entirely make sense, you know, the water not really fitting with the whole idea of parenting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tool called Every Pixel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the keyword parenting. Now, if I go into here and I click on free only, I'm going to see images that are absolutely free that I could use without having to pay any royalties or anything like that. So parenting, free only, and I'm going to click on search. Okay, so already some absolutely beautiful photos here, but here's a tip for you. This design that we're working on, it's actually in portrait mode, right? It's taller than it is wide. So a lot of these images, they're wider than they are tall. They're in landscape mode. Well, I'm going to go here and click on vertical. And now I'm going to see pictures that are royalty free, that are absolutely free with the keyword parenting, and that are vertical. You can see there's some beautiful pictures here. Now you want to be careful when choosing a picture, because if it's a book cover, you want to have some area where you can actually place the text, right? So for example, some of these pictures here, I mean, they're nice pictures. They kind of seem more like family photos, but there's no real place to put text. In an example, let's say here, there's definitely some place to put text because there's a blank area at the top, even some blank area at the bottom. Same with this here, there's some area at the bottom, but there's a really cool feature of Every Pixel called free areas. And I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say, you know what, I want to make sure that there's some space at the top so that I can put the title. And so here we are. Here's some parenting photos. You can do a search and you can try other keywords too, like family and other things. But I really like this one here because here's why, and I'll explain. There's a huge area at the top. There's an area on the left. There's even a little area at the bottom where I could put text, and I'm not covering up the image. It's beautiful. The colors are stunning. I think it would look fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and click on free download. It will take me to the place where I can download it absolutely free. Click on free download here, and some great pictures that you can download, again, absolutely free. So here I'm in Canva, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this picture right onto the backdrop. So here we are. It's uploading, and here we go. So I'm going to take out the old one. I'm going to drop this one in here, and you can see, wow, already totally different than how the original cover looks. Here's the original cover, and you can see it looks completely different already, and I'm just getting started. So the font is okay. You know, I can play with that a little bit. I'm going to check out some of the fonts in here, and there are a lot. There are definitely a lot of fonts. Let's try this one here. And I'm going to resize this down. It's a little bit wide because, again, I want to make sure we see the parents, we see the child, and I'm going to edit this a little bit. I'm going to make it left aligned, and I'm going to reduce the font size because it is a bit big. Make it a little bit wider here. Okay, so here we go. We now have the title. We're not really blocking anything per se. And we have these cool lines that the template gave us. So I'm going to put that in here. And I'm going to put the name up here. So I'm going to just type in John Smith. And I'm going to increase that font size because it is pretty small. Oh, that's a little bit too big. There we go. And I'm going to erase this text here. And actually, I could also put written by John Smith down here. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. John Smith. Okay, so up here, I'm actually going to just remove that. Okay, so we've got a lot of space here, and I could play with this a little bit. I can move this up now that we have extra white space. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you a little trick. So most people don't understand sort of the flow of text and how you can really make it pop and look really great. But you can see there's a lot of spacing between each line. And then also we have the, which is a really short line, then parenting, which is a really long line, the longest line, and then toolbox. Well, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. So I'm going to, first of all, fix up the spacing and reduce the line height. So it's a little bit closer together. It looks a little bit neater. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to decrease the font size of the parenting. Actually, you know what? So Canva's a little bit limiting because you can't reduce, unfortunately, the font size of one part of the line. It's kind of all or nothing. So I'm going to actually take out that parenting piece there, and I'm going to go to text, and I'm going to add another font here, and the font was Cooper, so I'm going to make this the same thing, and I'm going to reduce that font size like I was hoping to. Okay. So the parenting toolbox, I'm going to reduce it a bit more. Let's left align it. Make the box a little bit smaller so it all fits nicely. Okay, and looking pretty good so far. I'm going to make the toolbox a little bit bigger. It's actually going to make everything bigger because, again, that's sort of how Canva is. So I'm going to actually erase that the, and I'll make that in a separate line as well. So I'm going to show you my trick in just a second here. So I'm going to make this about 23, and I'm going to add the text here. And what I'm going to do, because it's such a simple word, it doesn't really need to be so big. I'm going to actually make that a lot smaller. And now, I mean, I didn't mean for these to be black. That's sort of the default that happened. But I see that we have some neat colors already in here, and I'd love to find a complementary color. So I can go in here and I can use this little color wheel in here. Okay, I'm going to click on the plus sign, and I can see the color wheel here, and I can kind of spin it and play with it. But I find when most people do this, they kind of go a little crazy. And so you end up getting things like this where the colors don't really match. It's kind of hard to read that. It's not a good contrast. So you try to stick with colors that are in the palette, that are sort of already in the image. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to choose something that's sort of that orangey look, and I make it a bit darker. And here we go, something like that. And now we have this black, which I'm going to change back to white. And you know what? I'm going to actually change this. There's another Cooper down here called Cooper Hewitt Thin, which is the same font but just thinner. So there's that. And we can make it a little bit bolder so you can read it. And you know, you could play with this a little bit, but again, don't go super crazy. You want this to be along the same lines as the color palette. So here's an example where now it's kind of similar toned, or we can actually go a little bit darker, so it's not quite black. It's often another mistake people make is that they go white and they go black, and you actually can add a lot of feeling or emotion, texture to an image by not making it, well, not quite black and not quite white. So let's do this. Let's actually try that color. And this toolbox piece, let's make it the same for now, and let's see how it looks. Okay, not bad. So I can go ahead and I can adjust these. Now you'll notice the trick. I don't know if you can see what I've done yet, but I'm going to tell you this trick now. What I did was visually, I essentially kind of drew a box with my eyes around the text. What I mean by that is, if you remember, before, so I'm just kind of making sure that these are the same size, the white lines. If you remember before, the parenting was a lot bigger, the was too big, and then the toolbox was smaller. So what I did was just essentially drew effectively, let me show you if I actually take a box here, kind of drew a box around the text. So if I were to actually put this, and I'll just kind of show you as an example, I'm not going to keep this box here, but just to show you, it's as if I drew a box around this. So the parenting is a little bit smaller width than the toolbox, but we can like draw an invisible box around it. Just kind of makes it a lot neater, as opposed to this being, you know, much bigger. Well, it wasn't that big, but maybe about like this. And you can see it's like, well, that's not as nice, right? I mean, it kind of looked a lot nicer when it's sort of in this sort of box, this invisible box where we have you can almost draw a line around it, and it's like a container for the text. Okay, so I mean, this looks okay. Again, you can spend as long or as little time as you'd like. Maybe you like the colors, maybe you don't. You know, the white and the dark here probably don't entirely make sense. So let's just kind of make it all the same, and get this thing here, make it the same. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it now. Looks good, happy with it. What I'm gonna do is, we need to get this cover as the first page of the PDF. Now you remember, we have this page here where we have the front cover, and we wanna replace this with the new cover. So there are a couple of ways to do this. If you're on a Mac, it's actually super easy. If you're on a PC, you could use a tool called Adobe Acrobat Professional. If you have that, fantastic. And that is a paid tool. But I'm going to show you another way using some web-based tools that are free that you can give it a shot, and it will save you time and let you modify PDFs in a really simple way. Okay, so first off though, I need to download this. I'm going to download, and I'm going to make sure I download it as a PDF and print. Click on download. Now, I'm going to show you if you're on a Mac, I'm going to show you the simple way here where you can use the tool called Preview, which is the default PDF viewer. And I'm going to open that up on the Mac here. Now, this is the original, I'm just going to click on thumbnail so we can see the little picture here. And anyway, so this is the new cover, this is the original. What I'm going to do here in Preview is click on that first page and then just click on delete. Boom, it's gone. Really simple, right? Now I'm going to drag this picture that's on the sidebar here and put it on the right. We replace the cover. I just go ahead and save it. We now have a brand new cover for our ebook. It looks completely different. It's a different title. No one would ever recognize that this was done for you, PLR.me content. Okay, now what if you don't have a Mac? What if you don't have you know, the ability to do that? No problem. So I was just going to go back, revert my changes, and I'm going to use a tool. And there are many out there. If you just type in PDF merger or merge PDF, you will find lots. There's this tool called SmallPDF.com, and they let you use the tool for free. I think for, you know, a couple times every hour or so. There's a paid version you can take a look at if necessary. Honestly, you probably won't need it. But what you will need to do is you'll need to upload two things. You'll need to upload the cover that you just created in Canva, and then you'll need to upload the PDF that you want to replace. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to upload the cover. And then I'm going to go in here and, okay, I'm going to upload the PDF. Okay, so both are now uploaded. Now, if you stop here, what's going to happen is it's going to give you the new cover and then the second page is going to be the old cover, and you don't want that. You want to get rid of that original cover, replace it with your brand new one. So you want to click here on page mode. You'll click on the first cover, or the old cover here, and then click on the X. Boom, done. And you can go ahead and delete any additional pages if you want to. You can go ahead and delete this or whatever you'd like. But all I'm going to do now is at the bottom, I'm going to click on Merge PDF. So I've got to click on the download here, and let's open it up, and you'll see it now merged it. We have the new cover and then the rest of the book below. So super simple way of taking a cover, taking a PDF, a report, a slide deck, whatever you'd like from the PLR.me content library, designing a brand new cover, and then inserting that into the PDF to make your very own version with your own cover, your own branding, your own style. Now, I showed you a few different ways of doing this. First of all, I showed you how you can just add your branding, your name or your logo, onto the PDF using the PLR.me members only exclusive tool, the PDF Brander. And super simple, great way to add your branding, your name, your logo, your website throughout the book or just on the front cover. And then I showed you how you can use Canva to create a brand new cover of your own using very simple, very free tool. And of course, you can then download photos from a place called Every Pixel that lets you search across multiple different free stock photo sites. You can download that and use that as the backdrop of your front cover. And then I showed you, if you're on a Mac, how you can use Preview to change up this picture, this front cover, just by hitting delete on the keyboard, dragging the new one on, and saving that, and you're done. Or if you're on a PC, you can use a tool called SmallPDF, which lets you merge PDFs and add or remove pages to a PDF. So that's how you do it. Super simple. There are over 11,000 brandable resources at your fingertips within the PLR.me content library. You can go ahead and download any of those. You can swap out covers, make it your own. It's going to look completely you, and no one's going to know that you're using licensed content. That's the beauty of this. You can make it your own, change it up, add your own flair, add your own voice, add your own branding, style, and colors. And hey, run with it. It's a kickstart and a great way to get things moving fast without having to write from scratch, without having to hire expensive freelancers. So if you found this helpful, watch our other video tutorials. We have a lot of great stuff for you. And go ahead, create your free account on PLR.me so you can download 2 free downloads every single month at absolutely no charge. We also have very special membership plans where you can get access to hundreds of resources or thousands of resources so you can download and brand these coaching resources as your own. Ronnie here, founder of PLR.me. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, and go ahead, download your content right now, create your very first cover, and get it live. I'd love to see it. If you do that, go ahead, send us an email, post on social media. I'd love to see what you've done with it.